Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you've tuned into another live edition of the Locker Gnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. It's your daily dose of me, Chris Pirillo. It's usually about an hour long. This first part is for everybody. The second part is Pirillo Picks, and I showcase something new every day with that. Then I answer questions from my community of patrons, and then after that I talk about today's geek and tech news again with the patrons. If you want all of TLDR, head over to chrispirillo.com, and I will gesticulate a few more times in this video. Yesterday, in a near impromptu fashion, I went off on 3 technologies that I really wasn't all that excited for, or haven't been excited for, and you could watch that video separately if you want. Today, I want to talk to you, conversely, about the 3 technologies that I am looking forward to, things that I am kind of excited about. The first thing, and none of these should come to a surprise, none of these should surprise you. Really, unless they do. The first thing that I'm very much looking forward to is wireless electricity. Now, this is more than just, a pie in the sky. This has been seen to exist. It's not just in our imagination. It's not just a part of the realms of sci-fi. It is true. It is happening at a small scale. But imagine a day when you just don't have to worry about plugging anything in ever. Ever. No need to recharge batteries because they just automatically recharge themselves if we even use batteries at that point, because electricity will be everywhere. And it's definitely happening right now, like I said, on a very, very, very small scale. But the moment they've licked all the problems and come up with just one standard, really, for wireless electricity. I don't need many standards, honestly. I just want to know that things work without wires. And if you don't think it's possible, or if you think that's crazy, do your research. And just think about how we used to access the internet over phones. Like, phones, physical phones, when the only function of these devices made out of Bakelite was to connect by way of voice to someone on the other end. That's how we used to get to the internet. So wireless electricity is one thing that I want. I'm not talking about those gimmicky wireless charging things, because quite honestly, they're gimmicky. I know. You say, what do you mean? No, they charge wirelessly. Yeah, but you still need to plug something in that's corded. So then, wireless charging? It's a gimmick. It's a neat gimmick, don't get me wrong, but it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about wireless electricity. The second technology that I'm very excited to see, and this, again, should not surprise you, is cars, self-driving vehicles. I have wanted this ever since I can remember. Many people don't know this, but when I was young, substantially younger than I am now, and my beard shows it, or some people call it my bread. This is my face bread. Don't try to eat it, though. It's getting to the point where I'm finding food particles in there. So when I was younger, and on a birthday that I could have picked up a driver's permit or a driver's license, all I wanted at that time was the first series Garbage Pail Kids set in mint condition. And I got it. I still have it. It's in the closet. I still have all my Garbage Pail Kids. Still collect them, too, as you very well know. That's what I wanted instead of a driver's license, because, quite honestly, cars have never interested me. Apart from their function, I appreciate being able to get from point A to point B, but I've never lusted after a vehicle. I've enjoyed being able to get to where I need to go, but for the most part, it's a tool. I get just as excited for screwdrivers as I do cars. And I'm excited for electric cars. I've had a chance to drive one, as you very well know, if you've been following me for any degree of time. But I'm talking about self-driving vehicles, because at some point in the future, and I cannot wait for this day, there will not be a human driver on the road. That kind of excites me, because there are a lot of idiotic drivers out there. A lot. And many of them suffer from road rage. Many of them. And so many of them, they want to go past the speed limit. Oh, bless your heart. Not really. You don't deserve to be behind the wheel of a car. You don't. Because you can't drive. Follow the rules, because the rest of us do, see? The stop sign's there for a reason. Stop. It's not to be ignored. Follow the rules of the road. The problem is you can't trust people. You can't. You cannot trust people behind the wheel of a car. You can't. I know you want to, but remember, I've told you, when it comes to humans and technology, usually it's the human being that's screwed up. Sometimes it's the tech, but once you take humans out of the equation, I think getting around will be a lot easier. I've never liked to drive, never enjoyed road trips at all. I'm very much a great indoorsman, and intend on being that way forever. If my daughter grows up and never learns how to drive a car, I will not shed a tear. I won't. In fact, I'm expecting that within the next 10 to 20 years, the idea of a human being driving a vehicle will be mildly antiquated. Save for the racetrack. I'm sure the sport will still exist. Hey, you know what? If collecting Star Wars figures is not a sport, then neither is racing a vehicle in circles, okay? Just saying. The last technology that I'm very excited for was one that I read when I was a kid. I read about it. I didn't read the technology. I read about it in a thing they called the Weekly Reader. It was like this newspapery thing that we got in class, and you learn about stories and you practiced reading. And one of these stories was talking about the death of needles. This is the one technology. Forget the jetpacks. I don't care about the jetpacks. I don't care about the drones. They don't interest me at all. I'm talking about needles. Why do needles still exist? I thought we had the ability to just beam things, like shoot it into our skin. I mean, I thought needles were a thing of the past. You want to talk about medieval, man. Needles. I don't like needles. So the one technology that I'm very much looking forward to would eliminate needles altogether, wholesale. I'm done. Done with needles. I'll take a pill. Okay? No needles. Done. That technology exists, but maybe it's too expensive. I just don't like needles. See, if you look at the things I'm talking about, it's about removing pain for me. Clutter is pain for me, very, very painful. So cables and things that you see in cords, clutter. I don't like that. That's a pain. Needles, pain. Driving and having to deal with other drivers, no matter where they live. Just a pain. Technology to me is, like I said, it's an enabler, not a destination, and I'm looking for technology to solve my pains. It's what I want, and I don't think that's too much to ask for. Seriously, am I the only one who remembers the need? Thanks, Liz! Oh, and Eric. There are only a few emoji that I wish I could block. That's the next technology I need. I need an emoji blocker, because there's certain emoji that I don't want to ever see again. That's one of them. Instead of that, maybe I could just replace it with a bunny. Like instead of the needle with the blood in it. See, that's weird. Like that's not how they do it. Or if that's very unsanitary because the blood's dripping out of the needle part there. I'm just saying, like if it was a vaccine, it wouldn't be like that. It'd be like clear or something. I suppose it would be weird if it was like a yellow liquid, then people were thinking that you were shooting up pee. Okay, I'm going to move on to the PP of the day. Pirillo picks. I do it every day. It's part of TLDR, and then after that, answering questions, tech questions, geek questions from my community of patrons. And then after that, I'm going to be covering today's tech and geek news, again, with the patrons. If you want to be a patron and get all of TLDR, head over to chrispirillo.com. Today's free podcast highlight was brought to you by all of my active patrons from chrispirillo.com. If you want access to the full TLDR episodes, both audio, video, past, present, and future, which can be up to an hour long or longer, with even more tech insight from me every weekday, plus other bonus content without ads, and support me at the same time, you can sign up to become one of my supernomies too. This is just a brief taste of what I'm producing for you daily. Again, get more through chrispirillo.com.